Welcome back to the South African morning. Now, they say marriage is like a walk in the park, but it's Jurassic Park. Now, some of us will endure, but others choose to let our marriages, not our, as in, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Some choose to let marriages go extinct. So how do you then put it? But of course, Gwyneth Paltrow put it as uncoupling. Now, Christel Du Toit has written a book about how to divorce smart, and she's here to tell us more about this very interesting read. Christel, thank you so much for your time, and welcome to the South African morning. I mean, I'm quite surprised there to see the staggering number. 1 in 3 marriages ending up in divorce. Tell us more about these stats.
Look, I tell you what, now with the lockdown, it seems that the divorce rate has increased by 20%. So I think your risk of divorcing becomes suddenly a little bit higher. And then the problem that actually comes in is if your divorce is a surprise to you, like it was to me, you suddenly feel financially vulnerable, and then you realize you don't have financial power. Yeah. So essentially the book is about making smart financial decisions before you divorce, and then I think more importantly to make smart decisions after divorce to rebuild your financial life so that you can plan your life and you can make decisions in the future that make sense. So the book is really there to help you not to make emotional decisions.
You target women, so are women hardest hit when it comes to divorces?
I think so, because we are the carers, we're the mothers, we're the people that we basically run everything. We run the household, we run the school run, taking kids to school and back to the doctor and back. We run everything except the budget. And I think by the time that you get to a point where there's a divorce, suddenly you realize that you don't know how much money is required to run a household. And what you've got to remember after divorce is that you are now suddenly the breadwinner. And you've got to pay for all these things. So essentially, you need to understand how hard it is to earn R1 and what you need to do with that R1 once you've earned it. So I think it's quite important to have financial knowledge. And what happens in a marriage is that financial power usually lands with the person that earns the most money. And after divorce, you're going to become that person. So I think you need to have a good understanding of a budget and what you need to do with that money to be successful at running your household. Because what happens is you're used to a double income, and then suddenly you sit with a single income, and trying to manage that is hard. So the book really tries to help you with your financial planning. So I would advise women, if you're going to be going through divorce, get financial advice. It's really helpful. And then I think more importantly is get financial advice afterwards. So put a financial plan in place.
Yeah. When do you think then is the best time to think about divorce? Because oftentimes when couple are about to get married, it seems the issue of a prenup or an antenuptial contract is quite controversial because it gives off the impression that you're already thinking about a possibility of a divorce. So when do you advise us best to start thinking or rather not planning as if you want to get a divorce, but in an event that a divorce takes place, then you are better prepared?
Look, a marriage contract is nothing more than an exit strategy. And I think what women need to understand is that it's a financial agreement. And the only thing, the purpose of that document or that antenuptial contract is to make sure that both parties walk away financially in a fair position if you married ANC with accrual. So my view on this is if you read this book, and you empower yourself financially, and you never get divorced, you've won. You've made smart financial decisions. So I think it's important that when you get married, get financial advice, and then plan your married life based on your marriage contract. You've got to have financial power. So if you're in an ANC with accrual, then it tells you it's a 50-50 relationship. So don't give that financial power away. I would make sure, if I had to remarry again, that if I buy a house, that it's on both our names. If there's a business involved, it's on both our names. Because imagine if you've got 5 properties and 1 business and it's all on one person's name, you've got no financial power because you don't understand what's going on in those companies, in what are the values of those properties, how much does it cost to run them.
Yeah.
I think you could actually, when I wrote this book, my editor is 26, and when she finished editing it, she said to me, listen, I'm actually willing to get married right now because now I understand the financial implications of marriage.
Right.
And what the implications will be after divorce. You know, she was 26 years old when we did this.
Right.
I think I saved her a lot of money.
And also talk to me about some of the worst case scenarios in terms of what women have been through, according to studies, whereby they were not, financially prepared for a divorce, they were not financially savvy, they didn't understand what was happening, and perhaps even at the end found themselves at a loss.
Yeah, look, I think as women, we do a brilliant job at making emotional decisions. So the book is designed with divorce building blocks, and I call them the legal block and financial block, and then we make decisions on the emotional block, and especially children, because we want to try and protect our children, and we will make a decision just to protect them. They are going to get hurt in any case, and you're going to have to take them to a psychologist or a social worker, but that's going to cost you money. So if you use the building blocks in the book and you make financial decisions, because children cost money, then you will make the right decisions. So if I can give you any advice is to make sure that you use the building blocks to make decisions and not to make emotional decisions.